the lottery.
Yeah.
Now, I'll just say this. This is truly what I believe. I believe that a couple weeks before the trade deadline, Adam Silver gave Nico Harrison a call. And he said, "Hey, man, listen, I want you to trade Luka Doncic. And I know people aren't going to like it. And I know everyone's going to say to fire you. But here's what I'll do for you in return because I really need the Lakers to be relevant and good and for the NBA to make money. I'm going to get you the number one pick in the lottery, and you can get Cooper Flagg. And you could also get Anthony Davis." I think 80% of me believes that's what happened because otherwise I have to like be a person that just believes in miracles.
Yeah, it's funny because I think that I actually work the other way. In my brain, I'm like, I don't want to have to deal with conspiracy and big corporation, big NBA, you know. I don't want to have to deal with it. Like it isn't it crazy that this happened? Like I'm not stupid enough to really think that like there's nothing going on here, but like I just don't want to think about it that way. I want to be like, wow, for the love of the game, this is awesome that this played out this way. That being said, um, there's a lot of people who are trying to make comparisons of what Cooper Flag will be like in the future. People are saying closer to like a Tatum. I wonder if Cooper Flag will ever be as good as Luka Doncic.
Um, yeah, he might be. He might not. I mean, he's definitely had more hype going in.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah,
Like you never. He could be any. Like his ceiling right now is higher than Luca's.
right. Something I wonder if it's
So
cool.
be
And
anything.
before,
Yeah, he could be anything. I saw a thing online which I really liked. Um, Nico, I feel bad I can't quote who where I saw this because I thought it was a great call. What's Nico's whole thing? Let's put conspiracy aside. What's Nico's whole thing?
conditioning.
Well, that's just yeah, but defense,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Loves defense. If I'm Nico, is it a coincidence that the same day the Mavericks get the number one pick, Giannis happens to announce that he's open to explore options, which I feel like every NBA player should always be open to explore options. But I was just a silly headline. But um, so if I'm Nico, I just give the Bucks a call, and I'm like, "Hey, Cooper Flag for Giannis. Who
Right.
says no?"
What's a better future prospect for you than Cooper Flag?
I'm saying, who says no? Just straight up. So now what Nico gets is a win now defense first team. The guy loves defense. Giannis is probably the only, besides a Wemby, the only better defender than Anthony Davis. Um, you get Giannis on that team. They become a win now. They don't lose too many assets in getting Giannis. They just lose this number one pick. That fell on their laps. I have no idea how they got it. And if you're the Bucks, you're like, listen, we won the title with Giannis. We're not going to do some fake rebuilding thing. We are just going to get Cooper Flagg, who is what, the probably top three prospect in this century. Probably it's him, Wemby, and LeBron, and then Zion's probably fourth. So, who says no in that trade?
Can they
I
make it
feel
work
like
with
it's a
salaries?
win-win. What?
Can they make it work with salaries?
Who cares? Then you just throw some people in to make it work. But like that's essentially the trade.
No,
Don't don't
I'm
be
saying more
don't
from
be
the
an nerd
standpoint.
with the salaries.
No, I'm saying more from the standpoint of I don't know how the apron stuff works in regards to that's three players on max. I don't know how much money you have for the rest of the roster. Like Klay Thompson's for
Don't
sure.
be a nerd with that stuff. Don't be a nerd with that stuff. That's not what we're doing now.
I'm saying Klay Thompson's for
Who
sure
says
has.
no? Who's to stop being a nerd with that stuff? Who says no? What would you rather have? Would you rather have Cooper Flagg or Giannis Antetokounmpo? Stop trying to roster fit. Stop trying to work with the second and third apron. If you Who says no? Would you rather have Giannis or Cooper Flagg right now? That is a great question, and that is the fun question to answer, not trying to make the salaries work. I think
If
it's a rare like yes
yes,
vote.
yeah, I think if there was a team to say no, I think it is the Bucks. But I think it's very even. I think the only argument that I would have is that I think that the Bucks feel that they could get more. Like, not that Cooper Flag isn't
What's
enough.
more? Like, what's a better offer?
I
Like, would you
say on
rather
discussions
have?
yesterday, like just spreading out the talent more.
So you'd rather have, let's just say, Jalen Green, uh, Shangoon, Van Fleet, and two picks and Cooper Flag?
I don't think that I would personally.
Would
That
anyone? Like I'm saying, like what I'm saying, what that I feel like that I just laid out the best offer they could get. The Bucks for Giannis. Right? Is anyone giving a better offer than that?
probably not.
So would you rather that or Cooper Flag?
No, so I'm saying I think if anybody says no, like being like, listen, we saw literally Nico Harrison talk himself into taking AD for Luka Doncic. So I don't know how to tell you that like I don't know how to tell you what other teams would value. But I'm saying I think if there was anybody to turn down that deal,
You're the GM. Stop. Don't try to predict. You're the GM. You're the GM. You're trying to like think about how teams think. They called you to consult.
I don't know. Listen, he's an unproven talent. That's the issue.
So the Bucks call you and they say, Levy, should we do it? You say no. Take Van Fleet, Green, Şengün, and two picks.
If the Bucks called me about
Yeah.
Giannis,
No, the Bucks called you. Yeah, the Bucks called you and said, Levy, we listened to the pod. We love your opinions on basketball. The Mavericks are offering us Cooper Flag, and the Rockets are offering us Şengün, Van Fleet, Green, and two picks. Which should we do? We need to get rid of Giannis now.
if you had to get rid, I think that would be my answer. Is like I would just wait. If you had to get rid of Giannis now, it probably is Cooper Flag.
That's what I'm saying. And I think Nico wants to do. As I'm saying right now, if we're assuming Giannis wants to leave and that they're gonna get rid of him. And we're assuming that Nico values defense over everything, which is what he kept saying. It feels kind of like the perfect trade.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. It's. I just can't believe they ended up with this pick. Is really the answer to me. Like even that season. What are the odds that Kyrie Irving is on two teams that this happens to?
yeah.
That's nuts.
Everything. What the answer is probably 1.8%, which was the odds of the Mavericks getting it. It's like
By the
it's
way, hold on.
ridiculous.
Wait. Can I just read out to you very quickly? I want to read out to you the order. Okay, if I can.
Oh, I know the order. I'm very angry about it.
Do you want to read it?
I'm not reading it. I'm going off memory. Let's go top five right now.
Yeah.
It's Mavericks, Spurs, Sixers, Hornets, which I'm really angry about. Number five, I know number six was Washington, which was crazy.
Yeah.
Who was number five?
Jazz.
Utah?
Yeah.
Yeah, Utah. Forget that top six is awful
Terrible.
because the it's like what's the point of what
Yeah. 100%.
the only thing good about it is maybe we shouldn't ever tank.
Except
Like,
I
what's
feel
the
like,
point of tanking?
but I feel like all these teams did some sort of version of that. Like, meaning the Sixers, like, at some point they were like, yeah, you know what? Why doesn't what's his name? Man, why doesn't Quentin Grimes just go out there and just score as many points as he possibly can? Like,
Hmm.
like at some point they were basically tanking. Um, the Spurs also were like pulling guys from second half of games. Like they were tanking. It's just good teams like doing a cheap version of tanking, and now we're rewarding that also. Like I don't really understand it. I don't know. It's just bizarre. Hello, Wizards. We got stuck on 6-7.
I feel like the six is an abomination. Like we don't need to talk about it more than that. Like it's just so. First of all, I don't really believe that like the seventh pick and higher actually matters.
Okay.
But the point, the reason why I think the top six is important is because four, five, and six were the teams with the best odds.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. It's insane. It's entirely
The
insane.
Sixers do not deserve the number three pick. The Spurs got Wemby, and now they're going to get great. They're going to either get Dylan Harper or a lot of good assets for a trade. Um, and the Mavericks, who made the worst trade in NBA history. I,
It really is like listen, I'm sure that Mavericks fans are thrilled, but
oh, yo, I'm sure they are the one winners. Maverick, them and Nico. Anyone who is attached to the Mavericks are winners.
also by the way, the fact that that Dallas now has the potential to be in the future, like they got both in the WNBA and NBA the number one overall picks this year.
I saw that. The odds of that are like 0.05%
Yeah,
or something, of
it's
course.
insane.
Um, if you if I'm though a Wizards, Jazz, or Hornets fan, I'm really mad.
Or Nets, or like literally, there's actually 10 teams in the league that deserve this more than the Mavericks.
Right, like Nets, Blazers, all those guys. Yeah,
How crazy is it that like this is supposed to be the balancing out of the league, right? This is supposed to be like the evening out of everything, and like all this did was like, I'm sorry, the one that really gets me the most mad is the Sixers. You just can't reward this. Like I think that Adam Silver should be like, I understand that they drew, they drew this pick, they drew third, but sorry, we're not giving it to them. Like it's insane. Anybody that you add to this team, everyone's like, wow, they're so much better than they were last year. Yeah, that's because like with a mixture of injury and also just weird play and just like literally just this negative uh press machine that's going on in Philadelphia, they just don't deserve this. I'm sorry, they don't.
yeah. You know, I underratedly feel bad for the Hawks because they won it in the worst year. Like 2 years ago, the Spurs get Wemby. This year, the Mavs get Cooper Flagg, and the Hawks got Ricochet.
Yeah.
And even if you want to say that they made the wrong pick, like Castle is nowhere near the hype of Wemby and Flagg. Um,
Yeah.
if you were to bet, are the Mavs trading this pick or are they keeping it? Like if you had to pick one.
I think they're keeping it.
I also think so. If you were to bet, are the Spurs trading their pick or they're keeping it?
The Spurs, I wonder if you see details afterwards. I think the Spurs would try to trade up to get one.
So
If
they're
they're if they're
it's so
not,
funny because if you because that would be the basically be the same. Like then you're predicting the Mavericks will trade.
yeah, no, no, no. I'm saying I think that the Spurs would want to trade. I don't think the Mavericks would want to trade.
Oh, like the Mavericks will say no.
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah, for the Mavericks, the only trade I really think is smart is
let's
Giannis.
be honest. Yeah, yeah,
I think
probably.
because it's right in Nico's wheelhouse of the defense, and he's the number two player in the world. Like, and that I genuinely think an Anthony Davis, Giannis Antetokounmpo lineup is
No, no,
that is
disgusting.
like that's like a real, especially with Kyrie Irving in the backcourt,
Right.
like Lively playing backup. I'm just like terrified to go against this team.
Yeah, no, that would be really insane.
Yeah.
Uh,
The Spurs might be a sneaky Giannis team also.
yes, that's what they're discussing as well. Listen, yeah, Giannis to the Spurs makes a lot of sense as well. That being said, I don't like looking at the draft board. I'm sure there's going to be much more analysis into it, but basically the Spurs have a lot of talent in many different positions. Obviously, the number two pick is a different story than a lot of other players, but at the same time, like they're kind of overcrowded with guards. So I don't know if they would use a number two pick on a guard, maybe a forward, maybe.
Are
But
you a believer in? Oh, I'm curious what your thoughts are on this. When you draft, do you draft the best player in the draft, or you draft for your roster needs?
I think it depends on your situation.
The
That's
Spurs
really
situation.
so. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the Spurs. The difficulty is you have a lot of young, like you want to develop potential, right? Especially the Spurs really like take a lot of care with that. Um, I wonder. I
For me,
Yep.
I'll tell you this, I always take the best player
Okay.
because I'll tell you why. Because you just never know with this stuff. Like, players get hurt, players request trades. So, Luca can just leave your team all of a sudden.
Well,
Suddenly, your team could just get Luca. Yeah. I mean, like things just happen, and when you try to like fit it around, especially when he's so young, like the fit's often like not the way you think.
that's what I'm saying.
But
That's why I
if
think
you
you
just
know.
know who the best, who the most, like this guy has the most potential talent, like that's what I try to do.
So the difficulty though with the Spurs is that the guys who are at the top of the draft board are either guards, which they're really guard heavy, or they're more raw talent that really could have very high potential, or could be like a Kuminga, who like he could be a good player, but no one really knows for sure.
So it's just yeah, again, I don't know the details of like well, here's the best example. The Rockets did not take um Jordan because they had Claude Drexler. No, the Blazers. Was it the Blazers? No, who the Rockets have? Never mind. This was a bad take. Turn the TikTok camera off. I completely botched that take. Um, I don't even know what I was saying. Shoot, I had a whole thought in my head, but I was wrong about it. So just never mind. Um,
I understand what you're saying though. I get it. Like meaning you missed the opportunity because you're thinking too situationally.
like let's say Bankero was the best player in the draft. He was not who like Holmgren was probably who they needed.
The
But
the
like
the Magic?
yeah, because they needed a bit like they don't have a big man.
No, but they that was
Like
the right pick because their team was so nothing.
right, but I'm saying Ben Caro, Holmgren was a better fit. Ben Caro was the best player in the draft.
I don't know.
Home like Franz and Ben Caro are a very similar position.
Yeah, but they at that point Franz was like a promising young player. He wasn't like a number
But I'm saying
one.
that was the storyline at the time was are they going to take the better fit or the more talented player? That was the storylines behind it. Like I just remember it. And they took the more talent and then when they picked him they're like, "Oh, this makes sense. They took the best player available."
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway,
Yeah,
crazy lottery. Crazy that the Knicks are up 3-1. Crazy that the Pacers are up 3-1. Crazy that the Mavericks traded Luka Doncic and have nothing to be sorry about.
yeah, dude.
They essentially traded for Anthony Davis. They essentially traded Luca for Anthony Davis and Cooper Flagg, which is actually a pretty fair trade. Um, it's debatable. Like
Listen,
it's not like it's not like Shams was hacked bad.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, listen. All the real winner out of this, to be honest with you, Brandon Williams.
What?
The team has championship potential.
I haven't thought about Brandon Williams in months, my friend. Like since I don't even know how you thought of
It
it.
was a take just for you. It was just for you.
That was great. Should have turned the TikTok camera on. All right. I think we got through everything. Sorry for those of you who really wanted to hear about our analysis for picks 14 through 7, but I just shut Levy down with it. There's no interest. By the way, no interest in talking about picks 14 through 7.
By the way, dark horse contender for who I feel sorry for, the Raptors.
Eh, I don't like Canada.
All right. Well, that is what it is. That's fine.
Yeah, shout out to Dove. No, I don't feel bad for Canada. They won the title in 2019. Like they're good.
Okay.
Like I'm saying, Raptors fans, Jazz fans, Wizards fans is like, what now? Like, where do we go from here? Like,
Literally, I could not. Uh, there's not a single part of me that has any answer for those teams, unfortunately. The Nets, I think, deserve it. But, sorry, Zach. The Nets deserve it. Um, Especially with all their nonsense news stories that are in leaking. The Nets are going to pursue Giannis, okay? And 29 other teams are also going to pursue Giannis. What, you want a medal? Like, I don't understand. But the rest of these teams, like, really with the Jazz, I actually don't have a, like, trademarking in for what? I don't have any clue what to do moving forward.
yeah, it's
But
tough.
also, by the way,
Well,
remember
this is a good draft, so you never know. Like a top 4, 5, 6 pick could be good.
but remember also, by the way, that the Mavericks last year were in the finals. That's crazy.
Uh, yeah. Nico Harrison is either the luckiest man alive or smarter than we all think because he's like maybe Nico reached out to Adam Silver and he was like, "Hey, like I know how this league works. Like, would you love it if I just traded Luca to the Lakers?" And Adam Silver's like, "I would love that." Well, Nico's like, "Then I need Cooper Flag," and Adam Silver's just like, "Done, done." Like Kubi was the opposite, you know?
I like that in this situation,
Like,
Adam Silver is basically Bill Simmons.
I can't believe it.
It's shocking. It's so shocking. I also love that this is coming in the middle of playoffs. It's just all
Yeah, it's fun. Like if you look online, like I was scrolling on Twitter as the lottery was happening. Every single account we follow was just like, what the actual F.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't like to curse on this pod, so I use the letter, but it was basically HE double hockey sticks. And it was everyone is shocked by this.
Yeah.
Um, as are we. We'll see what happens. I assume a lot more stories, a lot more rumors are going to come out in the coming days, and we're going to recap it all